Good morning, students. Welcome back to All for e-learning classes. Now we are in 4th unit, that is political concepts, in which the last topic is power. In the last class we discussed about meaning, definitions and different forms of power. The power is the most important concept in political science. Some political philosophers consider the political science as a science of power. Then, what is meant by power? Power denotes the ability of a person to fulfill his desires or to achieve his goals or ends or objectives. Is a general definition of power. Coming to rightist definitions, I have given two simple definitions to you. So one is of Weismann definition. According to Weismann, power is defined as the ability to get one's wishes carried out despite resistance. It is the definition of Weismann. Coming to Edward S. Shields, he defined the power as the ability of a person to influence the others, influence the behavior of the others. For which purpose? To fulfill his end. End is nothing but aim. Then, forms of power. There are 5 types of power. One is political power, 2 technological power, 3 economic power, 4 ideological power, 5 national power. Coming to political power. In politics or in political science, power is nothing but political power. It may be in other forms like the power of the state, power of the government, power of the law, through which the state operates its political power. Coming to technological power. Technological power is used by people, government and political parties. Political parties are utilizing the technological power to run their campaigning at the time of elections. Then government is utilizing the technological power to render better and quality services to the people. Then economic power. Economic power is derived from what? Wealth, especially from major means of production and distribution. Clear? Generally, it is in the hands of big business persons. It is in the hands of big business persons. If the nation will have abundant natural resources, it will have economic power. Then ideological power. Ideological power refers to the manipulative power of dominant class or ruling class, through which they influence the thinking and emotional feelings of the individuals. It is a ideological power. And last one is national power. In the context of international affairs, national power means a state, a sovereign state, attempts to influence the other sovereign states to achieve its goals. It is called as a national power. And coming to the last topic, different perspectives of power. Different perspectives of power. Different perspectives of power. So, what is the use of the study of different perspectives of power? Generally, the constitution of every country guarantees the equality of status and opportunities. Clear? But in the society, the dominant sections or dominant class will exercise the political power in the state. Yes, to know and identify like these groups. Yes, it is very essential to study of power, a part of political science. Here there are 5 types of perspectives. They are: number 1, Number 1 is elite perspective. Elite perspective. 2, group perspective. 3, gender perspective. 4, class perspective. And last one is modern perspective. Modern perspective. There are 5 types of perspectives. One is elite perspective, 2 group perspective, 3 gender perspective, 4 class perspective, 5th one is modern perspective. So we will discuss one by one. Elite perspective was developed by sociologists, namely Pareto, 1, Mosca and Michels. Okay, Pareto, Mosca and Michels were the famous sociologists. They developed the elite perspective. According to this perspective, the exercise of power divide the society into 2 groups. One is elite group, another one is mass group. Clear? The exercise of power divide the society into 2 groups. One is elite group, second mass group. Yes. According to this perspective, which group will exercise the power? Elite group will exercise the power because they are the dominant sections in the society. They exercise the power and influence the masses. It is very clear? 1. Second is group perspective. Group perspective. Group perspective. So this perspective was developed by Arthur Blenty. Okay, Arthur Blenty. Arthur Blenty. This perspective was developed by whom? Arthur Blenty. Clear? So this perspective is corresponding to pluralistic theory. Already we studied about 2 theories of sovereignty. One is Austrian theory of sovereignty, another one is pluralistic theory of sovereignty. Clear? So this theory or this perspective is associated with pluralistic society. It is associated with pluralistic society. Yes, in pluralistic society, different types of groups are there. It denotes various types of groups. Clear? So here, this perspective divides the society into 2 broad categories. One is dominant class, dominant section, and dependent section. Dominant section and dependent section. According to this perspective, exercise of power divides the society into 2 groups. One is dominant group, another one is dependent group. Clear? But according to first perspective, that is elite perspective. According to elite perspective, society was divided into 2 sections. One is elite section, another one is mass section. But who exercises the power? Elite exercise the power over mass people. Means according to elite perspective, the total power is in the hands of whom? Only elite group. But according to this perspective, the total power is not in the hands of dominant section. Clear? The power is not concentrated in the hands of dominant section. Clear? So there are so many associations are there in the society. So many associations are there in the society. So what type of societies or organizations are there? The organizations like peasants. Clear? So here once again you remember that this perspective divides the society into two groups, dominant section and dependent section. But according to this perspective, power is not in the hands of dominant sections. Clear? The power is divided among the different societies, or sorry, different organizations or different groups in the society. So here power is divided among us to what type of organizations? So organizations related to workers. Okay, organizations of workers, then peasants, then industrialists, then traders, consumers, etc. So according to this perspective, in society power is divided amongst various organs in the society, like the organizations of workers, organizations of peasants, organizations of industries, organizations of traders, organizations of consumers. Clear? Then these groups exercise the power or exercise the influence for protection of democracy. They exercise the influence. Just now what I said, the organizations. Clear? Such sections will protect the democracy. Protect the democracy. Clear? And they will have their own share of power. They will have their own share of power. And so they are called as a independent centers of decisions. Independent centers of decisions, because they are autonomous and they are independent. Just what I said, the groups names, the organizations of workers, organizations of industries, etc. They are the autonomous and independent, and these are also called as independent centers of decisions, because they will take their own decisions because of what they have their own share of power in their sphere. Clear? Next, one more thing. Due to this reason, the government will seek the cooperation of these organizations. In which matter? In the process of decision making. In the process of decision making, the government must seek the cooperation of these organizations, because they will influence government also in so many things. Hence, the government must seek the cooperation of these organizations while taking the decisions. And third one is gender perspective. Gender perspective. In recent days, it has become the most important aspect in the political science or in the modern world. Clear? So according to this perspective, the exercise of power divide the society into two groups. One is men, another one is women, on the basis of gender. On the basis of what? Gender. Gender means whether they are male or female. Based on gender, society was divided into two groups, men and women. But the society is not society is divided into men and women not by the individuals. It is created by nature. Clear? Nature and it divided the society into two groups, not individuals. Clear? So nature created the nature divided the society into these two groups for development of the human race, the progress of the human beings. Clear? Build up their culture, build up their culture, build up their excellent civilization. Clear? The nature divided the society into these two groups for which purpose? For progress of the human beings. Number one. Number two, build up an excellent civilization and culture. Clear? But what happened in the society due to patriarchy concept? So in our Indian society, what type of family system is existed? Patriarchal family system is existed. According to patriarchal system, who is the owner of a family? Father, means man. Okay, father is the owner of the family, and so this perspective placed the men, dominant, whereas women placed independent. Okay, this theory or the society placed the men in a dominant position and women placed in a dependent position. Clear? According to this theory, men exercise the domination over women. Due to this reason, there is no liberation or there is no freedom to the women. And so, some political philosophers proposed one theory that is called as a feminist theory. Feminist theory. Feminist theory demanded to bring the total changes in this arrangement. They wanted to liberate the women from the domination of men. Clear? This theory demanded to bring the total change in the society about this arrangement, that is division of society into men and women. And the proponents of feminist theory wanted to liberate the women from domination of men. Yes, liberation. So liberation of women from where? Men. Clear? It is one thing now. Then fourth one is class perspective. Class perspective. So this perspective was developed by Karl Marx and his friend Friedrich Engels. Friedrich Engels. Clear? Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels developed this perspective. Clear? So according to this perspective, the exercise of power divide the society into two classes. One is haves, another one is have-nots. Clear? Based on the ownership of means of production. On the basis of ownership or owners on means of production, society was divided into two classes, haves and have-nots. Clear? Now Karl Marx said that in every stage in the society, in every stage in the history, society can be divided into two classes. One is haves, another one is have-nots. Clear? Example, capitalist society is there. In capitalist society, owners are the capitalists. Owners are the capitalists. and workers are the and have-nots. Here all means of productions are owned by whom? Capitalists. They were the owners of means of production. Clear? But workers do not have any ownership on means of production. Clear? Hence in capitalist society, society was divided into capitalists and workers. Capitalists are the haves and workers are the have-nots. Gradually the capitalists or haves had become dominant, whereas have-nots had become dependent. Clear? Finally, the propounders of class perspective believe that the classless society can be established through social revolution. Classless society can be and established through social revolution. So due to the impact of Karl Marx in Russia, Russian revolution was originated. It is clear? And the last perspective, that is a modern perspective. The modern perspective is related to or concerned with power over and power to. Here, according to modern perspective, power over, that is the power of dominant sections, the power of dominance. Clear? Power to means the power of dependence. Clear? According to this perspective, power over, that is the power of dominance. Power to means the power of dependence. Clear? Then the main aim of modern perspective is the empowerment of downtrodden sections. Yes, what is the aim? As welfare of, okay, or the empowerment of. So empowerment of downtrodden sections like SCs and STs, then women, and last poor people. Yes, it is the one of the aim of this perspective. Clear? And according to this perspective, here power to, that is power of dependent. Resist the oppressors. Here, who oppress the whom? Dominants suppress the or oppress the or resist the dependents. Hence, dominants are called as suppressors or repressors. Hence, power to, that is power of dependence, resist their repressors. Clear? And gain an opportunity and ability to utilize their capacities for self-development. Clear? According to this perspective, the dependent sections will resist the repressors, resist from their repressors. Who are the repressors? Dominant sections. And gain the ability and opportunity to utilize their capacity for their self-development. Clear? So these are the 5 important perspectives of power. How many perspectives? So 5 perspectives. Once again, first one is elite perspective, 2 group perspective, okay, 3 gender perspective, 4 class perspective, and last one is modern perspective. Clear? So with this power is over. So I will meet you in the next session. Goodbye.